early here. It's like 6:30-ish, something like that. First, let me say welcome to Rome, my friends. As you can see, Roman marble. Yeah, last morning in Rome, almost didn't do a video. This is echoey as all get out. I don't know what it's going to sound like to somebody listening to it back on YouTube. But yeah, normally I'll show you like the bathroom and all that stuff. This one is like tiny. If I open this door, I can't stand here. I'm right up next to the sink. I mean, it's got, anyway, just not like the atmosphere that we're used to for the travel shaves. As always, I got my bowl, bring along my Sterling synthetic brush, got my samples. So far, this is my third shave. So let me tell you, I'm still tired, man. Not sleeping as normal at night, even though I'm exhausted. So, you know, you do that whole flight where you lose a day to get over to Europe. So maybe like an hour on that one. And we had a 2-hour layover, another 2-hour flight. So we get, then long wait for baggage for some reason at the Roman airport. That was a little weird. And then we got into the hotel at like 4 in the afternoon. Luckily we could check right in. And so the first thing I did was shower and shave. Didn't miss a day, so I'm still on my streak. I think I need to check. I think we're up to like 310 days straight shaving. Anyway, made the mistake. They say you never take a nap, just stay awake and then you'll be right on schedule. And that's what I did the first time we came to Europe. This time my wife said, oh, let's take a little nap, because we were just both exhausted, like 1 hour of sleep. She didn't get any sleep in that day and a half cycle or whatever it is. So I'm going to be using my first 2 shaves. I used the Shannon's Forest City Fern. I gotta do the old man holding it away because I don't have my glass on. And then Oz oil can. So today will be Mystic Water Leather Smoke. Anyway, so I got my shower, my shave, so I didn't miss a day. And then I fell asleep. And I think it was just an hour, but ooh, that messed me up. It was one of those where you wake up and you're just way worse off than when you went to sleep, and you knew it was a big mistake, and it took a long time to kind of recover from a nap. That's like an old people thing. I took a nap and it took me a long time to recover. Anyway, I'm trying not to talk too loud because it feels like the louder I am, the more it echoes in here. It's all hard surfaces. So anyway, yeah, I've been getting my shaves in. The shaves themselves have been okay. I finally decided I just brought the Rockwell 6S. Like I mentioned in one of my journals, that the last time we went on a cruise I brought the Feather SS folding razor because the cruise bathrooms are so tiny. I mean, you can shave in there, but you know, this is on the shelf and you're kind of restricted. So here, let me get my lather going. I didn't make it to begin with because I think this is going to be a short shave. I didn't want to jip you out of any conversation whatsoever. Anyway, so I brought this, what was I saying? Yeah, so before we left, I was using the Feather SS just to get back into practice with it. And I think I just out of practice enough, or being a little bit more aggressive about getting the BBS with it. And I was getting just, you know, a little building irritation on the neck. So I thought, that's a bad plan, is to come with a razor that's making a little bit more irritation every day and having to deal with that on a daily basis. So, oh, so the reason that I brought that last time is that, at least on the cruise ships that we're on, they've got a very nice changing room for the spa gym area. I mean, it's just huge. There's a huge room with lockers that you can use, and of course in each locker there's like they've got the sandals that you can use for that area, and a big like couch that you can, a circle couch you can sit on while you're changing and stuff, and then another huge room that's got rooms of saunas off of it, and I think three big showers. So just so that it's more of a pleasurable experience versus just let's just get this done and get on with our day. I'd wake up before most people, so I just take my gear up there, and then you got this huge shower. This one of those that's big enough that you can like shower on one end and then walk here and get your towel out and towel off and all it in the shower. And then they had 2 sinks. Unfortunately, they had a big one of those big tubs like the blue plastic disposable. Anyway, this isn't what we were talking about. So that's why I bring the folding razors, because I'm taking my stuff back and forth, and that protects the blade. Well, so this time I'll just have to make sure that the razor head is like in my bowl to protect it. So I almost didn't make a video this time because Rome just isn't my jam, I guess. This is not my thing. Let me finish up. The shaves have been okay. The water is super soft. So while I'm getting, I can get a lather just fine. There's zero slickness to this. As soon as you just touch it with a little water to rinse it off, it's gone. There's no residual slickness whatsoever. So we'll see. The first 2 shaves that I did were just 2 pass shaves, which, with the 6S is fine, but give you a quick rundown. So I didn't want to make a video and just be a Debbie Downer, but I guess that's fine. That's just the experience that we have. So yesterday we went to so the first evening we thought, well, we should get out and see something. So we just walked around the hotel. The hotel's not like in a shopping or restaurant district or anything like that. It's next to a huge green space that has sculptures and zoo and all that kind of stuff in it. So I'll just I guess wrap up in general that pretty, as the city, unimpressed with Rome. We had a great driver into our hotel. We were going to get an Uber. We were told just to do that because they're a little bit more expensive than a taxi. But they only start with Uber Black, so you're gonna have a nice car. And then you don't have to worry about maybe getting ripped off by a taxi driver, taking you the wrong route and stuff like that. While we were trying to get the Uber app to work, this guy came up and said, "Hey, you looking for a ride? What are you doing? We can give you a ride." And he did have a badge around his neck, but I was kind of looking at him like, "Who the heck are you?" Alright, I'll leave out a lot of the details, so we don't have a lot of time. Anyway, awesome driver. He said that he's driven for ambassadors, stuff like this. So he had all the history of everything we were passing in the years that things happened in the Roman Empire, all this stuff. But other than the ruins that you pass by that are like right next to the road and stuff like that, which I guess it's either kind of neat or kind of weird and sad that it's like, here's this thing that was made in 500 BC, and it's like, we're driving, right past it. The rest of Rome, like the modern Rome, is just, their architecture is, there isn't, it's just functional. The buildings aren't pretty. The city, I guess I wouldn't say it was dirty. Paris is dirty. This is just not kept up. I mean, like everywhere, on the sidewalks, next to the road, everywhere, it's just stuff like, dry leaves just like everywhere, and weeds growing everywhere, and like, you know, the grass, the dead grass that kind of comes up to the border of a sidewalk and kind of like oozes over, and you know, it just looks unkempt. And like I said, the grass is dead, and it was everywhere. And as Chris CMH 737 pointed out, and graffiti everywhere. And you're just like, you know, every city has their their bad spots, and you know, yes, there were a couple blocks here and there, like super nice stores where the streets were super nice, but the majority of the place was just like that. I mean, even like right next to the Vatican and stuff, it's just graffiti, and so I don't dig that. And then the history here, and I guess that's just not my thing, because I like some history. And like when we were in the Vatican and they were saying like this spot is where they meet and choose the Pope, and here's where they put the fireplace to burn the ballots out. That kind of stuff is really interesting to me. Looking at a brick wall and saying that was part of this from this century and stuff, I'm like, okay, but it doesn't, I mean, you'd have to put your mind there and imagine that I'm standing where and all this stuff. And I can get why that would be super interesting to some folks, and it sounds interesting, but to me, I guess just because it was, and this block, this wall is part of this, and that block, that wall is, it's just like, all right, I get it. We're this whole area, you can imagine Romans were walking around and all that stuff. That's really cool. But then the individual things themselves are like, not, so for me, not my thing. And that's pretty much a huge part of what was here. Not to disappoint people too much, the Vatican was kind of like, sorry, we're supposed to do a tour that was like pre-opening before the general public can get in. And I should have suspected, you know, I was thinking like smaller intimate groups and stuff like this. The meeting point for these tours, it was this huge outdoor staircase. I mean, just huge, just filled with people. Yeah, I guess it's pre-opening to the public, but there was not a shortage of people that were getting in pre-opening. And it was a short tour, just the highlights, and of course the big one is the Sistine Chapel. And that, also sad to say, I think my lather's just like going away at this point. It's not the best water. It was kind of a letdown. I mean, you think, in my mind, if that's Sistine, you think of these big, beautiful churches that you see. And again, this was a weird vacation for me because I did almost no research about this stuff, which, you know, it's fine, but it's like, who's going to go to Rome and you don't want to say you saw the Sistine Chapel and knew Michelangelo was right there. But you walk into it and it's small and it's kind of dark. And, you know, there's just some small windows up on top. The colors are muted and stuff. You look up, yeah, it's there, but it's almost like, it's one thing that I'd say that the pictures are better than seeing it in person. In person, it's not as clear, and I don't know. The one thing that was cool about the Vatican was the church. That was impressive. That's kind of what you're expecting when you walk in, and it's just huge. And everywhere you look, just ornate, and the sculptures just everywhere on every surface is just these big, deep relief stone sculptures are just gorgeous. Oops, I'm doing the wrong pass here. You can do this really lightly, because yeah, there's no slickness to this stuff because of the water. So anyway, then we did a big bus tour, you know, one of those double-decker buses. It was also so hot here. And I'm one of those that hates being hot. And it's hot and sweaty because it's just so hot and you're walking everywhere. And you're just like, I just want to stop sweating. So the rest of the day we just did one of the big bus tours just to see the stuff. You plug in headphones and they talk to you about what you're going past. They do them in a lot of major cities. And it might have been neat to go into the Coliseum. That's the one thing I might have been interested in seeing, but again, you know, huge line. I'm just like, it's alright. Let's just get back to the hotel and air conditioning. So there you go. I usually have to rinse for quite a while. That was it. It's gone. So, and then sorry to be a bummer because Gear Noir was like, oh, you must be having wonderful food. Tell us about the food. And Rich was saying, oh, I'm sure he's sampling the local wines and stuff. No, sorry. We did have gelato. The gelato was great. The gelato place is all over the flippin' place. Oh, whoops. I didn't do my Allen block and I already dried my face. Hold on. Let's do things right. Just because of timings and that, you know, I don't want to be hot and sweaty and sit down in a restaurant and stuff. We just had our dinners at the hotel restaurant, which is nice, but it's not like known as a pasta place and this and that. And I kind of mentioned once in my wine video that I've tried wines from all over the world, and I'm sure I probably could have had one or two and it would have been fine, but I really know, you know, I did get certified in wine, but in terms of like individual areas and things like that, which wines to pick and stuff like that, I don't know. And it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't feeling good. And you're hot. When I'm hot, I don't want wine. And anyway. So, but we have had hotel Wi-Fi since we've been here. So that's why I can post a couple of times. Trying to read a few things here and there, but I was just, you know, tired. It's not keeping up like I'm sure. Sorry, guys. There's lemon. But that'll go away. This morning, up kind of early-ish. I'm gonna fall asleep. Right? The way it works, with our cruise line, we paid for the transportation from the hotel to the cruise. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away, I guess. Just, again, so we didn't have to figure it out and all that. They come to your hotel room and pick up the bags that you're checking for the cruise. You have to carry on some stuff, like we brought a bottle of wine with us for formal night. So that has to be carried on in a backpack and like my camera bag, I'd never let out of my sight, so we'll carry that on. The rest of the stuff, they come to the hotel room, and it has to be ready by 8 a.m. for them to come into the room. They take it, and then the next time you see it, it's in your room on the cruise ship. So I have to get up and get everything packed away for that. But then we just get breakfast at the hotel. We missed that yesterday because we had to get up. We had to meet at 7:10 in the morning for that pre-opening Vatican tour. So they've got a buffet breakfast here that I'm actually really looking forward to, because meals here, we've just been kind of grabbing stuff on the fly or just been exhausted at the end of the day. So I just want to start off today with a nice, hopefully, nice breakfast. I'm just more actually anxious to see what they have on the spread. When we did the hotel buffet breakfast the first morning in England, it was very interesting because they have like the bangers and beans and tomato slices. So I got that because we see the pictures of that's like the English breakfast. The freaking beans, they were baked beans, like out of a can, baked beans. And what they tasted like, I can't say they were out of a can, but it's like this is for a barbecue. This it was off-putting. Anyway, so I'm hoping they have beautiful croissants and I don't know what else, but we'll see. So anyway, we do that and then we wait around is actually finally relaxing and not getting sweaty. I mean, we could go out for a couple hours, but I don't think we'll do because then we'll need another shower. So we go downstairs at about 10:30 and wait for the bus that'll take us there, and then we get on the ship. I'm really looking forward to that. And I feel bad. I should be like I'm in Rome. I should be experiencing. I know. I can't wait to get on that cruise ship. I know what the room's gonna be like. I know where basically everything is. We're doing Disney cruise. They've got 4 cruise ships. 2 are big ones and 2 are smaller ones. The 2 smaller ones were made first. So I've been on one of the big ones, one of the other small ones. So this will be the 3rd cruise ships that I've been on for Disney. So the layouts are a little bit different on every ship, like the themes of the restaurants are a little bit different, stuff like that, but the basic layout's the same, so it's kind of like something familiar to come home to, and then you get off and you go do your thing, and you go see another area, and you come back to something you're familiar to. That's my style of vacation. I know people say, no, you stay somewhere in the city and live like the locals do and all that stuff. That's cool. I wish I could get into that kind of thing. In London, we did that. I really liked it. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling it here. I'm okay with just the oversight one day. This is what Rome kind of is, and anyway, that's where we are, folks. I got to pack up, clean up, let my wife in the bathroom so we can get going. I'd say see on the forums. It might be a week. No Wi-Fi for me. We have to pay for it. We don't pay for the Wi-Fi on the cruise ship. You can, but I don't want to be sitting there on my phone. I'd rather have nothing to do looking out on the ocean when we're not, at a show or listening to music, that kind of stuff. We'll see. Might hit up some Wi-Fi in the ports. A lot of restaurants, coffee places have free Wi-Fi for just that reason. But anyway, it'll be about another week before I have a lot of access. So hope you are all doing well, and catch you when we get back.